观众，欢迎来到第一小的后台。那这边的话，刚才是看了悠哉的第一视角，
对。
但其实，在整场比赛里面，对于下路的争夺，两边依然是打得比较的激烈的。
是的，是。
然后看到皇子的第一波 gank 这边逼掉了大嘴的双招以后，反而是被反蹲。
对。
然后呢，就是围绕着下路一直在进行各种各样的
传送，包括贾克斯传送来反应非常快，大哥被分开，直接再次 Q 上去晕住，然后还有就是蒙多传送过来送了一波。
其实从那一波可以看得出来 ，OMG 这场之所以赢的原因，下路那一波其实双方的打野都是同时赶到了下路来，双方的处理其实都不错，但是在最后打完的时候会发现 OMG 5人全部在下，并且直接拿到一条小龙。
对，主要这一场的话，我觉得经济优势拉开了那么大的一个最主要的原因，还是对于小龙的控制。
对。
这一把 insec 更多的把注意力放在了 gank 上面。
是的。
但是其实没有在 gank 没有取得收效的时候发现这一把灵药其实打得非常的好。
对。
包括他 E 技能的一个释放，以及在每一波团战出现的时间。还有上路高地那一波
选择，
对，不知道我们这边有没有上路那一波团战的一个精彩的
那一波很关键，灵药直接把悠哉整个粘在后面，让他无法造成出。
对，那一波好像是5打4，贾斯并不在，
场都进不了那一。
对。然后悠哉的话，只能把伤害全都打到一个蜘蛛的身上，而且最后还是被蒙多闪现上去收掉这个人头的。
而且其实 insec 在那个地方蹲在草丛，从后面是1Q 到3个人。
对，
那波 insec 的切入已经不错，
就是 Zero 配合他勾到了小伞，但是小伞回身给上公司装，
小伞没有秒掉，
回到对。
但整个来说的话，就是在一开始的雪球被滚起来了，因为面对 OMG 这样一个队伍的话，他们一旦滚起雪球来，其实就比较难翻。
对，
再加上这边他们的3个点应该说，他们的3个 C 位都是偏后期的，贾克斯、吉格斯，然后还有大嘴。
对，
所以说在他们初期取得优势，打到中后期的时候，就感觉这把很难翻，
有点无敌 OMG 这个阵容。
不过 BO5的比赛嘛，比赛才刚刚开始，然后我们看一下这是哪一波。
这
是一勾
天外飞仙蹲着打，
蜘蛛被蹲到了。
对，
这波是蜘蛛死掉了，但是皇子在前排也是被切死。大家看，
但是后来打了一波1换5，这边最后 OMG。
对的，看这里打完了以后，发现皇子死得非常的快，露露这里连大招都给不及。
就是大哥从侧面进场，吉格斯接上一个大招，注意看这边大哥开反击风暴被顶起来。
还是晕到了，
对，还是晕到，露露被卡到死角，布隆给大招，这个时候大哥的选择是直接强切 UZI 配上吉格斯大招，这一下炸下去是在空中就被炸死。
对 ，Q 加 W 的伤害瞬间爆炸，
这个伤害太高了，
而且这里也被秒。
皇子刚刚那一波切入后的时候，无状态是完全拉在外面。
主要是那一波沟通出现点问题吧，因为这边是想留蜘蛛，那边想去留后排，但结果呢就是装备差距太大，这把还是装备差距太大。
是的，
所以第2局的话，皇族要把初期的局势稳住，
从对线就有劣势这一把。
对，没错。
好，那这边的话，双方是战成了一个1比0 ，OMG 暂时领先。那皇族在上一次比赛里面是被对方让2追3的，可能心态上也或多或少会有点影响。希望他们稳定住心态，给我们奉献出精彩的比赛。好，我们稍微休息一下，等会儿回来看双方的第2场较量，
一会儿再见。
范冰冰健康美丽课堂，每天动一动，每天大声笑，每天睡个饱。还有天窝蜂蜜柚子茶，蜂蜜带来健康，柚子带来美丽，健康美丽喝洒哟。天窝蜂蜜柚子茶。
TJ 粉丝会全场6折起，战队纪念品、徽章、polo衫、签名照狂送不停，离舍幸亏舍仅需169元，全网最低价格。众多战队定制版游戏外设全网首发，还有超值游戏套餐等你来拿。TJ3C.PLU.CN，优惠不断，惊喜不断。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2014 LPL Summer Playoffs. My name is Rapid, I'm here with Nero, and we're coming out of a game number 1 that just looked great for OMG. You know, that's not my expert analysis, that's why we have Nero here, but just every single lane, winning it out, great teleports from Going, and even though we didn't see like a massive performance from Cool, he still hit some of the most devastating Mega Inferno bombs on his Ziggs that I've ever seen. Those things did damage, and of course the damage was backed up by an incredibly strong lane phase and capitalization off the ganks from OMG's bottom lane. San and Dada7, I didn't think I was going to say this, but they looked really, really good. And granted, they got their lane camped by Drug pretty hard, but Dada7, I think he's found a niche. His tanky initiation champions are working out, especially this Braum.
Yeah, and once again, it's the bottom lane suffering a lot. Yesterday, we had a lot of failed dives from Starhorn Royal Club. Today, we have a lot of failed ganks from Insect. Every single time he appeared in the bottom lane, something went wrong. He gave up the first blood, then they went for the 3v2, and it actually turned into a 5v3 in favor of OMG. And every single time Insect wanted to make a play in the bottom lane, it didn't work out. OMG was just there. So they need to work better on synergy. They need to know when they can make a move.
And Starhorn Royal Club, I feel like synergy is what they're almost best at, especially synergy on the top half of the map, which just didn't really show up all that much. Really weren't any ganks to the top half of the map to speak of. It was all focus on the bottom. So coming into game 2, what is the reaction here for Starhorn? This is the reverse of the situation, keep in mind, from their first series, where Starhorn actually won game number 1, and then came into game number 2 with a very similar focus. But for this game, if you're OMG, what do you ban out? Well, probably Fizz, Yasuo, and Braum, because you don't want to have to play against it. You might not be able to get it. But for Starhorn, what do they need to switch up to bring it back?
Yeah, it's a tough time for OMG right now, because they always want to have Braum on Dada7. Not really a big possibility right here, but well, we'll see. The previous game brought us 3 bans for middle lane, 3 bans for top lane, so now Starhorn, they need to focus on getting a great champion themselves. A champion that will be able to carry. So they need Korn on one of the champions that he likes, on something like Yasuo, Fizz, Orianna. And not on Lulu, that, as you mentioned in the picks and bans before, got completely crushed by Cool already in the previous best of 5.
Well, speaking of picks and bans, we are here into picks and bans for game number 2. And with a first ban on Irelia, this actually could be... Okay, it's not going to be 3 bans against Going again. That's a little bit ridiculous, but it's Irelia Braum banned out against Dada7. And we live in a world, Nero, where Dada7 draws bans. That in itself amazes me, but so does Dada7's recent performances. All of his Braum games, once again, undefeated on that champion. Really making it look good, and with a ban out onto Goings, well, it's the only champion he's played for the last 3 games before this series. But that's been banned out. There's an Alistar ban, and there should be a last ban Maokai. Yeah, there it is, OMG. Not gonna give that one up.
And then talking about the undefeated, the same goes for the Braum of Zero. So, well, they give it up, just as I said, to get a comfortable pick for Korn. Because they didn't ban Maokai. That forced OMG to ban it, because it would have been a Maokai for Starhorn Royal Club. That's a thing that should never happen.
But something that's actually very interesting is the Orianna pick for Korn. It is a champion that he did so incredibly well with, and in fact, both of the wins that Starhorn took off of OMG yesterday were when Korn was playing Orianna. And then after he got done just completely wrecking OMG with Orianna, OMG decided, hey, you know, maybe we should take that champion away from them. And as soon as they possibly could, they picked it away, and then they banned it away, really making sure that Korn never got his hands on Orianna again. But maybe they didn't learn their lesson, and it's right back there on Starhorn Royal Club. And with OMG actually prioritizing picking their bottom lane early, Going misses his opportunity at a Jax, which he definitely wanted, and actually gives that away to Cola.
Alright, but when Korn gets the Orianna, usually you just want to pick up Ziggs to be able to keep up with farm, and Cool has already played it, and he has an incredible performance on Ziggs throughout the whole split, so that might still not be the best answer, but Talon we saw talent already in the LPL, so it's not like it's not even gonna get picked, but not likely.
Cool's fishing for a melee AD assassin. Can't find one, and he'll actually lock in a Lulu. And keep in mind, this should be Lulu for Cool, saving the last pick for Going. But they actually know what Going will be going up against already in Jax, and so that could be a Lulu top lane saving last pick for Cool. But we've already got the bottom lane, we've got the jungle, and let's looking for the last few picks here for Starhorn. Interesting to see that OMG actually picked up the Jarvan for Drug instead of taking Lee Sin away from Insect.
Oh yeah, and still, if they have taken away the Lee Sin, Insect would have picked up a Jarvan or a Rengar. So it's not like Lee Sin is his best champion out there, because we saw him fail with it a lot actually at the very beginning of the split. So Insect can do incredibly well on different champions too. So it's not about taking the Lee Sin away from him. It's not the thing that OMG worries the most. And Twisted Fate for Cool, that would have been a great thing. We saw it 2 days ago and it was just great.
Starhorn actually got Lee Sin, I believe it was 2 games in their previous best of 5 versus OMG, but they split 1-1 on them, so it's definitely not a guaranteed victory in the jungle, but they still have a 100% win ratio versus OMG in the playoffs on Orianna. We'll see if Corrin can put that to work. But if there's any champion that's going to match up well against Corrin's Orianna, it is Cool's Twisted Fate. And I don't want to call him like the second coming of Messiah, but he is one of, if not the best Twisted Fate in LPL right now. He's just incredible. And now we get to see not only Cool on his Twisted Fate, but San's going back on a Kog'Maw, and this is what I've been looking forward to seeing San play Kog'Maw. Hasn't done it a whole lot, but it's great to see him back and looking better than ever.
Oh yeah, and he has also great stats on this Kog'Maw. He can also go for a Corki or something like that, but still waiting for this Vayne for UZI. Didn't get to see Zero's Braum and Corrin. Actually, both Corrin and Cool play kind of similar champions. We have Orianna, Fizz, Yasuo in there for both of them. But there's the TF and Ahri for Cool. That's the advantage.
We'll see if it is enough of an advantage to bring things back for Starhorn. As we hop into game number 2, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome
back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LPL playoffs. We're here in the lower bracket finals between Starhorn and OMG. The team that loses this goes into, I believe it's the 4th place match, if I'm not mistaken. Third place, that's right. And then
they don't go into a match. It's already said and done for LGD. They are the 4th place.
That's true, I missaid that. So LGD is locked in for 4th. The team that loses this will get into 3rd. And then, of course, the grand finals will be between the winner of this match and Edward Gaming, who had an not undefeated, but well, I guess they didn't lose any of their sets. They're sitting in the winner's final with a 1-game advantage over the winner of this match here. So I'm so excited for the finals. It's going to be insane. A possibility of 4 games, because it's best of 5 with 1 game already decided for the winners. And OMG. The favorites, if you follow the regular season, but keep in mind both of the casters actually predicted a 3-1 and a 3-2 victory for Starhorn. They see something we haven't seen just yet. We'll see if Starhorn can show us what that is here in game number 2.
Well, I also think I could have predicted a win for Starhorn, but they needed to get the early aggression. They needed to win the first games and then maybe lose a 1 or 2 and come back with a 3-2 or 3-1 win. But when they are losing from the very beginning, that's a bad sign for them. And actually, there's a lot on the line right here. If EDG win the whole playoffs, they will go to the Worlds as the first seed from China. And also, the winner gets a lot of money right here, so it's also a great thing to have.
That's true. There's money, there's pride on the line. As you say, hey, we not only won the second split, but now they're in even a better chance to get to Worlds if you do. Edward Gaming, they won the first split of LPL, and so that means that if they do win this split as well, then they just go straight to Worlds, as nobody would be able to counter that point. But wait, Dada and San are they're waiting in the brush so that the lane will actually push against them, but I mean, they're not being sneaky. They're just in a lane all their own, and they're not actually pushing it, kind of deciding what to do there. It is a lane swap, and once again, this is a little bit of a disadvantage for Insec, as he's not able to get his standard gank patterns off that have been so strong for him. But maybe switching things up is the answer that Starhorn need, although kind of questionable to see a Lucian solo farming while a Kog'Maw is in a free farm lane.
Yeah, definitely it is a little bit of a disadvantage for Starhorn, but that's what OMG usually look to do. They always want to get San free farming, they always want to get him going because, as I said in the previous game, his laning phase is pretty much a little bit inferior, and actually Starhorn didn't come out on top of it in the previous game. And OMG said that, okay, maybe they figured it out and they will go for the aggressive.
Oh my god, the 1v1 ignite! Korn just dunked on Cool underneath his turret. Korn didn't know it. He didn't have wards out for junglers. He didn't know anything that was coming in mid lane. He just straight up flashed on Cool and killed him with Ignite. An incredibly aggressive play. Korn wins the 1v1.
No, and then coming back, so maybe they said that, okay, maybe Starhorn figured out that they need to shut down San in the lane. Yet they didn't do it in the previous game, so now we're gonna lane swap. And it is going to work out hugely in their favor. Still, no one even going to the top lane to try and stop him.
In every game that OMG won versus Starhorn in their first best-of-5 series, Cool had an incredibly dominant performance. But in every game that OMG lost, Korn had Orianna. And you can see the stats just really manifesting themselves here so far. Korn, he just walked up to Cool, flashed on him, and killed him at level 3, or level 4 I think it was. Very, very strong play, but oh, Cool, he's in a rough spot here. Doesn't see Insec off to the side. And now Cole is actually coming down as well. Starhorn are going to 3-man gank Cool right here. We just see the flash in. There's the stun. The follow-up from Insec. He's going to get the ball damage. Cool underneath the turret. Stays alive.
And that's a flash from Cola. They just had this counter-strike for the CC. Not much more. That was a questionable play from Starhorn right there.
Korn was playing so far back to bait Cool towards the wave just so that play could happen, and so he wasn't able to actually get there with too much damage. Only the command dissonance, I think it was, that hit Cool. So Cool playing safely just like he should, and he was able to survive that devastating 5-minute 3-man gank.
Yeah, and Korn can win a 1v1, but when Insect ganks, they cannot pull anything off, and they just waste their own summoner spells. So that once again is something wrong with Insect today.
Oh, now Insect scouts that tri-brush with the ward, checks right into Drug, and he'll be forced to safeguard away. Keep in mind, this entire time, San has been in a free farm lane. He's been sitting top lane, almost AFK, just hitting the minions and Cola without any aggression or a whole lot of counterplay, but look at Drug. He is still up here in the top lane. He's looking for a gank onto Cola, but just putting on the pressure and forcing him and Insect back.
Yeah, and Cola has to watch out right now that he burned his flash in the middle lane. But still, San is free farming, and actually he is not so much ahead. He's not ahead at all.
We didn't necessarily talk about what these team comps are really designed to do, and while they're... Oh, no, Drug. He's not going to let me talk about this. Now it's their turn for a 3-man gank mid. Command Shockwave, good. It hits onto all 3, but the exhaust just destroys the damage. And now Korn, one more auto attack's all it's going to take, and... Wait a second. Okay, Drug was able to get it, but the retaliation is the counter gank strong enough. Bubble lands onto Cool. He misses his gold card opportunity. Forced to flash away. One more auto attack's all it's going to take. The death sentence pulls Cola underneath the turret. He's going to be flayed back in there. One last turret shot, and he lives. Cola makes it out alive. Lives to drink another day. In second, Zero coming in with the counter 3-man gank. Starhorn beat OMG at their own game.
Yeah, and UZI still stayed in the lane. was free farming just as Sound did, and wow, Starhorn come out on top and kills. A great counter action right there. And Korn is still ahead in CS in the middle lane, so cool. He needs to get something going. He still doesn't have his ultimate, then he's gonna go for the Destiny Gate ganks. But now he needs to keep up for the time.
In Zero hero mode at that fight. He landed a bubble that not only hit Cool, but it prevented Cool from getting off his locked gold card because it timed out there at the end while he was up in the bubble. So just a huge turnaround. Zero right where he needed to be, and Insect coming in. Like, what's so unique about that is that not only was Cool able to avoid the somewhat unexpected early 3-man gank, OMG tried the same strategy versus Starhorn, and Starhorn are just like, come on, we're the ones that go for these 3-man ganks mid. And they pulled one off that just completely destroyed OMG, and now OMG on the back foot, especially Cool in a matchup that when Korn wins, his team wins the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now Korn is on a champion that can really carry the game. It's not a Lulu that just is there to help. It's an Orianna that can kill everyone. And, well, Cool has his summoner spells back. He has this ultimate available too, so we'll get to see. He goes for some ganks.
Oh my goodness. Or oh my god, as that is what OMG stands for. They're on a little bit of a back foot now, but they haven't lost any momentum in their duo lane, and Going actually has a 10 CS advantage over Cola, so in every matchup that isn't that mid lane, OMG are actually still doing fine. But that mid lane matchup is what has won and lost OMG games over the course of their last best of 5 series, so still looking a little bit rough. UZI goes forward, and he actually dodges the death sentence, and it's actually Zero whose bubble again forces the flash out of Dada. Just great duo laning. Starhorn finally get the 2v2. They're making it look good.
An incredible dodge from UZI right there. That was really good, but well, they will get the turret, they will get the blue buff steal, and they will get the aggression on Drug.
Oh no, I think actually Drug got the blue buff in Stolen Way, or maybe Insect smote it. I didn't catch who actually got the smite. So Insect did get the steal. Drug just still has a blue buff from somewhere. Maybe it's glitched, I'm not sure. But I have seen a lot of glitched blue buffs out there, so not sure if Drug actually has a blue buff on him just yet. Destiny coming in. Cool might be going into the fight, but he's mostly just using that to scout things out. Sees all 5 of Starhorn. Positioning for that dragon, and Starhorn will get the first dragon of the game. Rotate mid.
Alright, so 3-1, still the advantage on the side of Starhorn. They got the first turret in the bottom lane, they got the dragon. So the game completely turns around. It is Starhorn who gets the objectives for free now, and not OMG.
Well, Going, heading back up to the top lane means that he's looking for a 1v1 just to keep the lanes even, but he's actually going to be on a 1v2 as Korn is going to sneak his way up through those top bushes. The lane is pushed far enough so that so that Korn rather will not be scouted out as he walks into that turret, or into that second brush. I don't know why I thought of turrets. Brushes are not turrets. And now he's actually going to walk through the brush. Going sees what's happening. I'm pretty sure the minions scouted Korn before he walked in the brush. That's why they're all those pings top lane.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened too. But still, Cola no level 6. And they were looking for a gank right here. Not a lot of damage from Cola as of yet.
That is a big discrepancy to point out. There's a 2-level disadvantage between Going and Cola. Cola without even having his ultimate yet. Then it's a big, big difference. Now, Cool in a little bit of trouble as Insect roamed back towards mid. Saves the turret, but Cool already pushing that lane up as well, Korn rotated mid, or top.
Yeah, and Korn still had a little bit of advantage in CS. He got the kills. He can't afford to roam a little bit.
An attempted Insect by Insect, but a counter flash from Cool. It's like he knows who he's playing it against and saw it coming. Prevented Insect from getting the kick back into Korn.
And Insect still forced out a flash, and that's a little bit of an advantage for Korn. He already came out on top of a 1v1. You have a 20 CS advantage in the bottom lane right now, and it's a BF sword compared to a Phage. So UZI might be looking for the aggression, and now he gets, once again, he gets the 2v2 lane, and once again he knows that Sun is not the best lane player. He doesn't go for the aggression.
But if you're talking about somebody that does go for the aggression, UZI 0. But this time the Insect works out. And it's Insect pulling off his trademark move. Second time's the charm, and he'll pick off Cool. And that is another kill coming his way. Corn's got a kill as well. And a great follow-up for a kill on the mid laner. More pressure onto Cool. The strong gets stronger for Starhorn Royal Club as they will push down this middle turret.
And we were so impressed with Cole's TF when he played it the previous time. Now he's sitting on an 0-3. Not looking too great. Not really gonna be able to do much. Now he grabs the amplifying tome, but still, he doesn't really have too much AP. No damage at all.
OMG really need to do something about their mid lane. This is the trademark build from Cool, where he'll pick up Ionian Boots of Lucidity very early on, but he's actually gone even further and picked up home-guarded Ionian Boots of Lucidity. That is a big investment into an item that actually doesn't deal any damage. Now, of course, the cooldowns will allow him more spells, which might mean more damage there, but still, it's a rough game for Cool. Getting solo killed level 3, and then also Corn just getting ganks like that off from Insect, really putting the pressure on mid.
So now it's Starhorn's turn to get the entire control of the game. They get the turrets, they get the dragons, they get farm kills, whatever they just want. But look at the support of Starhorn. Just actually 2 kills on 0 and nothing at all on UZI. So things a little bit reversed down there too.
This game is actually really different from game number 1. In game 1, Cool actually had a decent game, but it was San who came up so far ahead for his team off of all that gank pressure bottom. But oh, knock up onto Corn there from Drug. Immediate teleports coming in from top lane.
Shockwave miss.
Insect is not in a great place, and like you said, there's no contribution from Corn. He's gonna actually go down here to the red buff in the back, but no, he actually stays alive thanks to that dangerous game. The kill onto Drug keeps him from burning down. Corn stays alive. Misses a shockwave, but it's still a 1 for 0 for Starhorn.
But that was really close to Corn going down and to OMG actually getting something finally. But look at that. Cola left alone in the top lane. He might be able to push the turret down. No. Too afraid of going.
It's a pretty good idea to be afraid of going. He's sitting at a, 20 CS lead? 30, yeah, it's 20 CS lead. How to math. 20 CS lead over Cola, and he's really had his number throughout the early phase of this game. But I don't think it's really an early phase that Starhorn are really worried about. They've got Cola scaling up at the top lane. He'll get there eventually, and they're able to put on so much pressure with Corn and Insect mid that they don't have to worry about Cool. But there's still San. He's got some nice scaling out there. A big Flay not able to, or preventing the engage from Starhorn. But they'll still steal away the Golem. And they'll be in great position for Baron, or for Dragon rather, in 30 seconds.
When it's the second time in a row, Starhorn steal this blue buff. No blue buffs at all for Cool. No kills for him. Nothing that he can do right now. He got shut down in the lane, didn't get any single blue buff. And Starhorn, as you said, they will be positioning themselves for a dragon.
Starhorn Royal Club are really running like a screw you Cool kind of team composition. They take his blue buffs, they power gank him mid. Cool has been the recipient of not 1 but 2 3-man ganks. This was before the 10-minute mark. It's just incredible pressure put on that guy. So to his credit, he's actually keeping up in yes, sorry, I was kind of drew a blank there. And that's against Oriana, one of the best farming champions in LPL.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing that we have to give him credit for, but that's not really going to come back into the game. With Corn having 1 kill and 4 assists right there, with his shockwaves already doing really much when they hit. And well, he's got a lot of support from his team. Insect 2-0-2 on his Lee Sin. Finally, an impressive performance.
San in a lot of trouble. Insect's got the Q, but San will actually force back to flash, but he's right into a bubble. Teleport bottom lane from Cool, though. We've got Cola coming in from behind, and that's all she wrote for San. The Cappian surprise, not really a surprise to very many people. Insect and Cola, they both get out alive. There is a kill on to 0, so kind of the best of both worlds, but losing San, a big hit to The only carry that really hasn't felt a lot of pressure from OMG.
Yeah, it's the first time he dies, and actually, just look at that from
Oh, going! Giant Growth out there, the last auto attack from UZI! Through the turret, takes him down. It's not all the time that you see going get outplayed. But UZI had the damage and the kills. Flashing in. Pick off going.
Well, at the very beginning, I didn't think that UZI was really going for the kill. He got this in the end, and SHRC is just completely shutting down every single lane of OMG at this stage. They destroyed Cool in the middle lane, they go for the bottom.
And when they kill off San, they just head top lane, and UZI with a godlike outplay on to going, making it look good. Starhorn.
And also takes the turret.
That's true. They pick up their second turret of the game. Only one turret advantage, but it's about the position that they're in. And they've had all the dragons come their way. They've had the global gold from 2 turrets. And that sets them up for a 5,000 gold lead at only 17.5 minutes into the game.
Yep, 7-2, and UZI still looking for a little bit of aggression. They will most probably take this middle outer turret for free, since San is still in the top lane and going still in the bot.
Third turret of the game now down. Starhorn. They've taken all 3 outer turrets at 18 minutes. This is looking so polarizingly different from Game 1. Game 1, OMG had 5-0 in turrets by just a few minutes from now. And Game 2, it's almost the exact opposite. Starhorn. They've got kills on their carries. They've stopped OMG's carries from being as effective as they've been trying to be. And honestly, they're just polarizingly different. We've seen advantages in every single lane, and about the only big discrepancy comes from that top lane, where going is actually somehow 40 CS ahead of Cola now. Just really out farming him. Cola having struggles in both Game 1 and 2.
Yeah, and as we said, Cool is also keeping it up.
Oh, Death Center. Dragon's Rage on to Cool. The flash stun. Cola's coming in, and Insect grabs his 3rd kill of the game. That bottom lane is not a good place to be for OMG. Second time in a row, Insect's picked him off.
Wow, Cool was not expecting that at all. I also looked at his camera down there. At the bottom of the screen, he just grabbed his forehead in disappointment.
Yeah, and the same reaction from San you could see when he died bottom lane as well, so rough place to be for the OMG carries, just dying in the side lanes. They're not even going to get the chance to group up here, and that's something that Starhorn are actually really looking to do with all this ward coverage being cleared around Baron. They want to group up and put the pressure on.
Oh yeah, Starhorn will be looking for this Baron in just a couple of minutes, and that's the thing that they did yesterday, 20 minutes Baron.
And while straights might still be dire for OMG this game, Cool's got a Lich Bane. He's got that damage that he will put on Insect. The Death Sentence right into the box. Insect too far forward, and he gets picked off by OMG.
So that was a 3-man bubble right there from Zero. Also an impressive thing. Still, unfortunately, didn't do anything at all.
Nice pick, and Insect just way far forward. He was relying on that somewhat elusive Lee Sin ability to just safeguard back away if you ever get into trouble, but too much lockdown. And Dada7's actually the one that you credit that pick to. So Dada coming up big on his Thresh. That's his 2nd assist of the game, but it's only because there's only been 3 kills for OMG. Starting to bring it back. They find I guess they get 50% more kills up in the top lane that they've had all game, so nice to see them at least stebbing the over-aggression from Starhorn and making them pay at least a little bit.
Yeah, Starhorn got over-aggressive and over-confident just because they were leading in the game so much, and that's just Insect to you. He usually goes for plays like that, and the same goes for UZI. He tends to be out of position much more when they are in the lead, and he gets caught off guard. And Insect actually gave the shutdown bonus to OMG, because he was 3-0-3.
Starhorn, they met a little bit of resistance in the top lane, but once again, Insect, I don't think he's necessarily learned his lesson. He's like, let me just run into the enemy jungle. Safe and sound as OMG are nowhere near to be found, but with Dragon spawning in about 5 seconds, Starhorn are in a much better position to take this one down. It'll be their 3rd Dragon of the game.
The third dragon of the game indeed, and as I said, StarHorn will be looking for this Baron quite soonish. While StarHorn is taking the dragon away, Cola still is wandering around this Baron area, still putting up a little bit of warding. And they definitely have this Baron in their minds.
StarHorn have a lot of things on their mind, and one of them is kind of avenging themselves versus OMG, who reverse all killed them in their first best of 5. They're down 1 game and definitely looking strong to bring it back, but they're not there yet. A couple of things that they need to keep doing is put the pressure on to Cool. Even though he was ganked so heavily early on, 0-4, he's still starting to come up there in items, almost with enough gold for the needlessly large rod that he needs for his Zanya's Hourglass, and that could actually be a big power spike from OMG, allowing Cool to go for these, crazy Messiah plays where you TP in with Destiny and then allow yourself, or rather with Gate, and then Zanya's to blow all the cooldowns on you. So StarHorn, they haven't won the game just yet, although they are looking very strong and positioning very well with a lot of great ward coverage around Baron.
Yeah, they are looking really strong, but they still need to shut down Sam a little bit more. He's sitting on a Kog'Maw, and we know that StarHorn has a little bit of problems with closing the games out, so this hyper carry Kog'Maw can still come back into the game, especially with Drug, who has already stolen a lot of Baron buffs in his life.
Drug going a little bit aggressive there, and he'll get forced backwards. Cool in the meantime is just AFK pushing that bottom lane, and while SHRC did send someone to split push against him previously, I don't think that's necessary anymore, because if he overextends too much, then stuff like this will happen. StarHorn with a much better rotation up to that turret. The turret falls and StarHorn back off immediately before Cool can even punish them.
The same story as it was in the previous game. The blue side still really dominant. First of all, it was OMG just taking whatever they want for free, and now StarHorn, they go for this top inner turret, and OMG just fall back. They don't even want to contest for this.
It's 4-1, and the only turret that went down was off of Go-Going, smashing his lane wide open. And the CS is starting to narrow now as Cola's getting a little bit of that farm. Now he'll be the one that StarHorn send to get his split push on. Oh, but Dada7 no gets caught out there. 0. The God Bubbles coming in so huge, but now, oh, Cola could be in the same problem. He's gonna go down to the Bio Arcade Barrage. Shockwave actually gets flashed away from. Cool actually will flash it onto Korn though. One more auto attack, all that's gonna take it. There's San to follow things up. A nice bubble lands in onto San, and UZI just crashing down from behind. Cool, desperate to try to escape, but he can't get away. It's the Tidecaller's blessing on UZI. It'll finish off the kill, an ace for StarHorn. Might look towards Baron.
In the end, it's a triple for UZI, sitting on a 5-0-1 right now, so it still is a really bad thing for OMG. Even though they got a little bit of kills, they cannot really take the Baron with just 2 people who can dish out the damage and 0. They can't take the turret.
StarHorn come up with not only a big pick to start the fight onto Dada7, but they follow it up with just incredible teamwork, and UZI coming in from behind to clean things up after that. It actually looked like OMG might be able to turn that around with some big stuns coming in from Cool, getting a lot of that burst damage off, but he's still, sadly enough, 0-5. Desperately trying to stay relevant, but still can't quite find that Zanya's Hourglass, and with things like Korn missing his Shockwave, might be a trip for OMG to come back with fights like that.
Oh yeah, Korn missing the Shockwave the second time in the game. That hurts them by a little bit, but still, it is StarHorn who come out on top of the fight. They will be baiting for this Baron. I think if they force a fight right there, they should have an easy win against OMG, but still, there is a possibility of a comeback.
Possibility for comebacks always there, and no one knows that possibility more than StarHorn, or rather more than OMG, who down 0-2 managed to make a 3-game reverse all-kill comeback versus StarHorn, who definitely don't want to let that happen again. I don't think any team wants to do that, but especially for Insec, oh, they're all gonna get scouted out. StarHorn, no mystery when the Destiny comes down. Cool. Wisely scouting things out, realizing that OMG don't have enough ward coverage around the Baron area, so they really need that Twisted Fate ultimate to scout things out. Now, oh, Bush of Death for Starhorn, ward over the wall, it's a bubble onto Dada, and everybody jumping him over the wall. Incredible catch there, and once again, it's Zero finding the pick onto Dada, second time in a row. Starhorn now look towards Baron.
It's the second time such a thing happened. A bubble into a tidal wave and into Starhorn just collapsing onto Dada. And well, there we go. The Baron gets started out, but Drug is waiting there. He can't get the Smite steal, but does he want to go in? And he goes in and he gets it.
He gets the Baron. OMG, they come up with a steal. And even though Cool's forced out of the fight because he's low, Starhorn, they lose the Baron. And OMG, living up to their name with picks like that. Now they'll push down mid and might even be able to take a turret.
Might even be able to take the second turret right there. And wow, Starhorn did not secure this Baron. And it was Drug jumping in, but in the end it was even San taking the kill. An impressive steal for OMG, but still they are quite a bit of gold behind.
Insect not only missing out on that smite, but he allowed like, Drug got out, OMG, no kills come in Starhorn's way, and now, to illustrate how big of a shift this was, after going 3 for 3 on Dragons this series, OMG will actually pick up their first Dragon of the game. They've come from behind from a 5-1 turret difference, now with 2 turret kills in a row, and just the biggest turnaround OMG could hope for right back in the game.
Yeah, and OMG, they also got the Dragon, so they got the gold a little bit closer. And now, 5k gold lead at 28 minutes in the game is not so huge anymore.
Well, when you consider the way that the carries are stacking up, OMG, their late game is looking incredibly good. San, he's 4-2, he's got 4 out of the 6 items he needs, and he is a late game carry, whereas UCI is all about that early game. And while Starhorn do have some late game in the form of Cola, who honestly is doing very well, he's caught back up in CS, and now the question is that far enough back in the game to make him where he needs to be? Starhorn need everything they can do to help this 5-0 UZI carry the game out.
Yep, there is 5-0 to UZI and they got Cola going, so it still is OMG on the backside of the game. They have the Baron buff, yet they cannot really do much. They don't want to find a fight, because this Jax and Lucian are gonna destroy them. Especially with the bubbles that Zero provides in this game. He's totally on point.
While Zero may be on point, well, yeah, sure, he's cut out Dada 7 a couple times. Just like Orianna Shockwaves that we've seen you demonstrate, you can miss every single one of them, and all it takes is one to win you the game. So, the picks keep coming for Starhorn, and while, yes, losing Baron, throwing things away there is a little bit of a setback, they have been able to find these picks that have been getting them these little tiny advantages, and as the game draws later on, they become more and more significant.
And still, 8 kills, good lead in favor of Starhorn, 2 turrets lead in favor of Starhorn. OMG, they need to get some kills right now. That they got the Baron steal, they need some kind of an ace to turn this all around.
Korn will get TP'd on. It's going to be forced to dunk a wave or flash out of Drug. Will Cataclysm on top of him. A big shockwave backwards, but the stun card lands. Wild cards to follow things up, and San grabs himself a kill. Korn going down, and ironically enough, it's OMG that actually find a pick there onto Korn instead of the opposite way around. It's been happening all game long.
And San got the Baron steal, now gets the kills, and they are chasing after Insect. He's going the wrong way of the map, but they didn't spot him.
Dragon's Rage from Insect, just to kick himself away. War jumps over the wall, the great escape from Insect. He's gonna run right into Drug. Can he make his way back away? He's got his safeguard away, and there's riding the wave right back on out. Insect stays alive.
Oh, he even dodged the knock-up from Drug right there. An incredible escape from him. Still, he missed the smite on the Baron, so that's not so huge compared to the whiff that he just made.
Well, they will get the blue buff back away, and that'll actually go on to UZI. And a lot of Lucians try to favor maybe a CDR-focused build, where you get Ionian Boots of Lucidity into like a Brutalizer, but this is all about the max damage. UZI got Infinity Edge Shivbork, and then a last Whisper, looking for his last and final item left to be completed.
Finally getting a little bit of defensive stats, but, well, he goes for the magic resist. Of course, he wants to have this Banshee's Veil or the cleanse from Quicksilver Sash, but, well, Cool is not really so useful. It's just to dodge the CC.
Oh my gosh, the thing is definitely heating up here. 14-7, but you wouldn't know that looking at the score. The situation that OMG are in, having come back off of that Baron, they've gained themselves like the smallest lead back in, or chance at coming back into this game. They don't want to throw it away. Cool is starting to scale up. He is actually on 4 out of the last 6 items that he needs. So even though he was actually camped out 0-5 over the course of the laning phase, he is definitely starting to bring it back and is very, very relevant, helping facilitate all of these picks that OMG are making to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, and Cool is still farming up quite well, but on the other hand, you just look at UZI versus Sun, it's almost 100 CS difference in favor of UZI, and there's 5-0-2. Lucian, that is going to definitely be painful. However, on the other hand, Sun also got a lot of kills lately.
Oh my gosh, ward coverage, ward clear, actually very, very strong here for Starhorn, but oh, Zero not actually able to kill off that last pink ward. Great rotational positioning there. OMG, they're going to send the TF ultimate on in. Perfect bubble from Zero. He'll get the tidal wave as well. And look at the culling coming back around. Chunk it out. Cool. Insect's going to get the kick onto Cool all the way through the team. The Zanyas comes out, but it's just not enough. UZI mows him down from behind. And while OMG will be able to take off Insect, it's a trade 2-for-1 in favor of Starhorn. And now this Frost Queen's claim lands on San. Shockwave misses. San continuing to kite backwards. Drug able to flash away. Ward over the wall just to scout out the rest of Starhorn. San's gonna get jumped on over the wall. Cool, keeping the following going on. Oh, will it be going in time to save his AD carry? Gets the giant growth. They're turning it back around onto Cool. One more auto attack and San grabs the kill, but he's gotta go down in return. UZI will get hit there by the Acathian surprise. The shockwave through the turret. It's not a shockwave, it's just a command attack. And Korn turning it back around onto OMG. Drug wanted something. He's too far forward. He goes in. He goes down. No, he's saved by Dada7. Keeps him alive just barely. Actually, no, Going still died. Drug was the one that narrowly made it back to base in time.
And UZI got 4 kills in that fight. He's just a beast right now, and that's an inhibitor for Starhorn Royal Club. Finally, they find
Dada7 too far forward. He gets the death sentence onto UZI and turns it around for Cool. And now Cool, Drug, they're both onto Korn. Korn's got no mana, and he is going down. It's Drug that aptly enough grabs that kill for himself, and Cool teleports right in onto Zero. The stun card isn't going to come off in time. The flash coming in. Cool has the damage, and Zero's going down.
This is just so massive for Cool right now. He got a kill on UZI. He got the 500 gold shutdown bonus, and Cool comes back into the game with just 2 kills. He finally gets the gold that he needs to finish off his items. And it's get really dangerous for Starhorn, but they took the inhibitor in the bottom lane. They still have 7-3 advantage in turrets.
Oh my god, once again OMG living up to their name. Insect is alive, but something tells me he's not too eager to go in here for this steal. He already lost Baron number 1. Can he redeem himself with the second Baron of the game? And, you know, San is just stalling things out there. They're looking for the kill onto Insect. He's desperate to try to get into the pit, but he can't even make it inside. He does finally get inside, but he goes down. And OMG will pick up their second Baron of the game.
He got inside of the pit only when he had like 100 health. No way to steal a Baron like that. Just went down, and OMG, they get the second Baron of the game. They have the Baron buff right now. They can go for the pushes. They even things out in gold, little by little, from 5k gold difference to 4,000 gold difference.
But keep in mind, they have to keep their base in mind. And Starhorn, as they push up the middle lane, still have the pressure of that bottom inhibitor being down. OMG have picked up a big advantage, but now looking for Cool. Cool has Destiny Gate up once again. He wants to throw that down. A big ultimate, the Cataclysm coming in. UZI is going to get teleported on. Cool. He's trying for the damage, but he needs to pop out the Zanyas. Just getting some help from San coming in from behind. Corn and Cola off to the side. The death sentence lands from Dada. He's flipping him back in towards San. San in a little bit of a rough spot. He got slowed out by the command dissonance. Dada 7 still trying to be effective. He's going to flip Cola right into onto San, but San's going to get the stun off. Now, he's going to go down, or Cola gets the stun off. San goes down. The Acathian surprise, not able to pick him up. Yes, he does. He gets Cola. The revenge kill coming in for San, but it's still a 3-for-1 exchange. Corn and Zero very low, but the push into the base. Still going down for Starhorn.
A perfect 3-man Cataclysm from Drug, but cool. Chose to go for UZI, and he didn't have the damage to go for the 1v1 against 11-1-2 Lucian, and that gives Starhorn yet another inhibitor. They are looking to close the game out right here. They have the super minions to the bottom lane. Can Cool hold them back? That is the big question.
Drug is back up and he's full health, so Starhorn shouldn't be able to finish the game just yet, but oh my god, this game's so back and forth. Starhorn are hanging on for dear life. Well, actually, I guess it's OMG that are hanging on for dear life, but it's so back and forth, I just can't tell.
Oh yeah, and yes, you have this 11-1-2 Lucian indeed, but on the other hand, you have 9-4 Kog'Maw, which also will be ramping up quite well towards the late game, and we already are getting close to the 40th minute mark in the game. Cool goes for the split push. You will disturb? No. Fortunately not.
But if you look at this game, it will be a game almost defined by the AD carries. A 9-4 Kog'Maw versus an 11-1 full build UZI. Both teams just terrifying on that front. Enough burst damage from UZI's Lucian to be able to blow up San if he ever finds that 1v1. And San, as a much less mobile AD carry than UZI, will have to rely on his team to give him the positioning that he needs to be able to continue to dish out the same amount of damage that UZI can do so much more safely.
Still, we have the advantage on the side of Starhorn in turrets, in kills, but not in Barons. And well, this game is gonna get much longer than that, so San will get more power, and probably OMG can get a shot at another Baron.
Well, OMG, they've already had 2, and if 2 Barons in an LPL game isn't enough to win you the game, then you know that's just how close things are. Cola's got a split push going on top lane, does have his teleport up as well. And going. He's not actually going for the split push. He's with the rest of his team, just trying desperately to defend this bottom lane.
They cannot even give a second of free damage onto this inhibitor to Starhorn Royal Club. That's why going is just sitting with a team. They need to defend the base now that super minions are flowing in from the middle lane, and they have to defend the bottom. Actually, a lot of missed shockwaves from Korn. He only hit 1 in this previous fight, but earlier than that, he missed all of them. And that's the weak spot.
Coming out from UZI. Drug still looking for a big engage here, but he's chunked down to half health. If he goes in right now, he's not going to stay alive. Bubble onto Dada.
Oh, it's so intense right now. We are just waiting for a big engage to come in, and there are super minions in the middle lane.
Bubble lands onto Sonic. He's not able to take the lantern. He can't take it. He finally gets it towards the back. Giant Growth is on there, Wild Growth rather, and he stays alive there. But Dada, he's flashing backwards. Cola's gonna jump on top of him, gets the dunk down for the kill. It's a 4v5. Going now. The Wooded flash back towards the back of the turret. He's gonna go down. The shockwave finally lands. They get the stun from Cola, and look at Cool. He's forced back onto the fountain. Starhorn Royal Club, they crushed through the fight, and now they're taking the Nexus for the game.
And finally Starhorn can close the game out, but this just shows us they are so weak at closing the games out. They need so much time with the huge advantages that they have.
GG, and it'll be a game 2 victory for Starhorn Royal Club, who tie the series at 1-1. Here in the LPL Summer lower bracket finals, so the team that loses this is solidly stuck in 3rd place. The winner will advance, of course, to face Edward Gaming in the grand finals coming up tomorrow. So stick around, we'll be back with game number 3 coming your way right after this.
每天大声笑，每天睡个饱。还有天窝蜂蜜柚子茶，蜂蜜带来健康，柚子带来美丽，健康美丽喝撒哟。天窝蜂蜜柚子茶。